I'm gonna get back when I feel like, when I feel like, when I feel like, when I feel get back when I feel like.
Terry, great to have you here. So what are some of your first memories from cricket?
Well, growing up in Australia, cricket's everywhere. So I don't remember the first time I saw it on TV because it just always was. So probably the thing that stands out the most was 7 years old, joining my first club and the first training session. 13 7-year-old boys, all eager to get a bat in their hand and hit a ball. And our coach just says to us, in cricket, the thing you do the most is fielding. So if you don't love fielding, you don't love cricket. And that philosophy has stayed with me through 43 years of playing, coaching and umpiring. And as a captain with my teammates, passing that on, as a coach with the players I work with, passing on that same mentality of fielding. You don't have to be the best batting team and the best bowling team, but if you're the best fielding team, you can equalise things. You can be playing against someone much higher than you with technical ability, and you can balance that out in the field.
And you have more fun.
Absolutely. Thanks.
But what was the name of your club?
It was a Police Citizens Youth Club. Thanks. They used to be very strong in Australia in the 70s and 80s, but died away. So I wasn't actually there for very long as a kid.
You were playing backyard cricket as well?
Oh, obviously all the time. Thanks. Backyard, front yard, in the street. Thanks. I had one house we lived in, particularly when it was about 9 to 13. We had a driveway with a slope like that. The batter's at the bottom of it. And I just come tearing in and destroying my brother and the other kids around because until I was 12, I was a bowler. Unfortunately, tore my shoulder as a 12-year-old, and bowling days was over. Thanks.
Right.
So I had to reinvent as a batter, and really was a specialist fielder after that, to be honest.
And who was your favourite cricketers as a child growing up?
Dennis Lilly.
Yeah.
Thanks. Again, I don't remember the first time I saw him bowl on TV. I just always remember watching him bowl. He was absolutely my childhood hero. He's the only person in my entire life I've ever gotten an autograph from. I wrote that when I was 8. I worked in the music industry for 15 years, worked with a lot of artists I really, really loved and admired and things, and never had any interest in that. The Lilly autograph is the one big thing.
And you're such a key and important person in European cricket with an esteemed history in Czech and now Estonia. Did Czech cricket bring you to Europe for the first time, or what brought you across?
No. It was actually a girlfriend. I had a German girlfriend and moved to Germany, but I couldn't get any work in Dresden. And I got a few offers in Prague, and I had a few friends in Prague, and it's an hour and a half between Dresden and Prague. So that's why it was only temporary I was moving to the Czech Republic. It was only supposed to be 18 months, ended up being 15 years. And it took 2 years of me being there for Danny Hudacek, who does commentary for you, I think, of 2 years him trying to get me to play cricket. And I thought, well, I'm not going to be here long. What's the point in getting involved? I'll get involved with Dresden Cricket Club, which had just started. You hold good events there every year at the Dresden ground. And so I just did things. And then as it stretched on staying there, I then started playing, got involved more and more heavily. Things didn't work out back in Germany, so I then decided to stay in Prague and got involved at the board level in Czech cricket, became the first CEO, the first full-time employee. And Czech cricket changed massively over the 12 years that I was involved. And lots of people did a lot of work over that time to get it the point where it is now. And it's in lots of areas it's doing fantastic.
Yeah, you created and left a huge legacy with some incredible people in Czech cricket. We love seeing the development of the number of teams that are there and the grounds, and obviously Scott Page was such a key figure of what he did at the grassroots and the club level there. And now what's happening with Chris Pearce as well, and Dan Casey, and everyone at the federation are wonderful people.
Absolutely.
And then in the last, it's only been a year now that you've moved to Estonia, right?
Just over. July last year, I moved to Estonia.
Yeah. And what are some of your first memories of being in Estonia in cricket?
Well, actually, my first interaction of Estonian cricket in Estonia happened in 2021. I'm an ECB umpire tutor, and Estonia asked me to come up and run some courses with their umpires. So I went up there for about 10 days in 2021 and ran 4 umpire courses. And just everybody I met involved in Estonian cricket really liked, just a great attitude. There's a real community spirit because of how small it is. And it was just a pleasure. I really enjoyed the place. When I got back on the plane back to Prague, I didn't have any idea that a year later I'd actually be moving there. But that's where the seed got sown. And that was my first experience of Estonian cricket. While I was there, I went and watched some matches. I saw the umpires I was working with in-game and be able to give them feedback. I also went and helped run a session with the women's team while I was there, also a coach. And so when I moved there last year, I became the Estonian national women's team head coach. And I now work with them. So yeah, it was a really good experience, and made it, when I got the offer from them, because I'd been there and I'd met so many people who are involved at different levels, I knew, like, yeah, this is going to be good. I can fit in here.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And I was at Stu Hook and Tim Heath, and incredible support and love for the game of cricket, and the things that they've done up there has, ignited a huge wildfire of cricket being played there and on a spectacular field. Tell us about the ground that you have up there.
Yeah, we've got the national ground at Tiskra. It's just outside of Tallinn. We've got 2 fields and a rugby field as well. And it's the flattest playing surface I've played on in Europe, or I've umpired on, or been to. I think for flatness, it even rivals Kardama here, which is a very beautiful ground. Bit tricky because it freezes for 6 months of the year to manage the grass, but because of that, we have a full-time groundsman. It's very, very rare for a country at our level to have such a role. It's also a fact that the national governing body, we run the ground. We've got net facilities there, storage facilities, lots of plans going forward with upscaling it each year to improve things. Commentary huts, sight screens, things. We haven't hosted a T20I there yet. We were going to this year, then that fell apart. So looking to do that in the near future and have more and more higher level cricket there. Because of having 2 fields at the one facility, it just makes organising things like World Cup qualifiers so much easier. And so we know we're going to be in a good position to do that stuff in the near future.
Yeah, I agree. It is the best looking outfield in the entire of Europe. It's an incredible place, and so much credit thanks to the people that are behind getting that up there. And how many games of cricket do you play on a weekend there if you've got 2 fields and many teams?
Well, in the real peak period, we'll probably have 6 to 7 men's T20s, and like this year, 2 women's T10s in the one weekend. Wow. So like that's one of the, as great as it is, it gets a hammering. There's no club ground in England, South Africa, Australia that would have the amount of matches played on it as what we put it through. But it's all we've got. We've only got the 2 fields at that ground, and we need to fit in as much cricket as we can in our very narrow window. We really start next year mid-May to mid-September. That's it. It's just not long, and we've got so many people who want to play cricket. We had 8 different outdoor leagues this summer, utilising those 2 grounds, and in that I include a women's softball and a junior softball, which is played in another venue, but still going down just to the 6. That's a lot of leagues on 2 grounds. It's
incredible. And are you playing midweek night cricket there as well?
We introduced, for the first time this year, playing Friday evening, I think 6:30 start. It's daylight all the way through. We don't have lights. We'll be increasing the amount of that aspect because of the volume of cricket, because of the number of clubs and the number of different competitions. Our members want to play T10, T20. We do a men's and a women's Super 8 competition, which is basically pairs. And there's a lot of interest in doing that. It's a really good developmental from the softball to play pairs outdoors with the hardball before they then move into T10 and T20. We find that it really, really helps because we've gotten a lot of people who are from non-traditional cricket playing countries, whether they're native Estonians or Latvia, Ukraine, Belarus, Bulgaria. We've got people, men and women and kids, who have not grown up with it. So we need to have this pathway that's a bit more than what you might have in somewhere like Australia. And obviously, got the guys who want to play 40 over, they want to play the longer format. That takes up a lot of time. But it's working well. We're also working on a third ground. We wanted to try to get a ground down in Tartu, the second biggest city in the country. We've got a lot of people down there who want to play cricket. There's 2 clubs that are down there. There's also a lot of players who play for a club that's based in Tallinn who come from Tartu. So we know that if we can get the facilities down there, that will have a massive growth spurt for us in the future.
Sure, and Estonia is a very high-tech hub, right, with a lot of clever people and a lot of students. So these students are moving there with the love of cricket and then wanting to create teams and clubs really rapidly, right? How many clubs do you have now?
At the moment we've got 11. And until we do get another ground, we're sort of capped out. There's not really any more room to fit more teams into the calendar. But we want to, and the growth's coming, the growth's there. And my job is to provide cricketing opportunities for people in Estonia. Playing, umpiring, coaching, scoring, administration, social media. And until we get another ground, we can't provide more opportunities. We also need to be more indoor because of the long winter. As I said, we can't play outdoors from mid-September to mid-May. Maybe we can start training at the end of April, but we need to get the grass regrowing after it's been frozen for so long. So we've got to be looking at the indoor facilities to be able to give people more opportunities during that winter. We're in negotiations with doing a partnership with a big sports club that has really state-of-the-art indoor facilities in Tallinn. So we're looking to be able to provide more opportunities to be able to do stuff during the long winter.
And are you in schools at the moment? Is that a focus?
Yeah, absolutely. That is a huge focus. One of the reasons why Estonia wanted me to come there was due to what we did in the Czech Republic with the academy. So me to utilise my knowledge and experience from being involved in that and essentially replicate it. So everything that Chris Pearce has done, and Chris and Renata with that, and I was heavily involved with that from 2015, and that's essentially what we're doing. So in August, we hired a part-time coach school liaison officer. She's actually the wicket keeper for the women's national team. She got her ICC Level 1 coaching certificate earlier this year. So she contacts the schools, lines up all of the introduction sessions, and then her development officer, Dave Robson, who's here playing with the men's national team, and we're now upskilling a couple of other coaches, especially native Estonians, to join her. I hope to have Dave and I step back from actually going to the schools and have 3 native Estonians going there. Ragnar and another member of the women's team, Lena, are in schools yesterday and today. And we did 660 kids in the last 2 weeks of September. We've done 1,500 kids this year. And I think we'll get up to about 2,500 before the end of the year, being introduced to cricket. Right now, we're in 2 schools who are playing cricket every single week. with 2 groups in one school, three in another. One of those is all Estonians, the other is at an international school. And so, and really at the moment, our biggest problem is I need more of those coaches who can go in and do that, because we're actually having to reject schools. Every school that Ragnar speaks to is, yes, come, please, yeah, we want to. And then we're going, oh, we've got 3 who all want the same week. So it's a good problem to have, that, the schools want us. We've got really good package we send to them in Estonian, letting them know exactly what we're about and what we do, and detailing the safeguarding that we do, and letting them know that all of the people who are going to them are qualified and experienced. So we're just seeing really good growth in that area, and that's the real focus we're working on at this moment. And as soon as we get a few more coaches, it's just going to blow up in the schools, and we'll be having inter-school competitions in the very, very near future.
That's fantastic. So coaching the coaches and coaching the teachers is a huge focus, because that'll be the platform that enriches everything.
Absolutely. And just this weekend gone, another member of our women's national team just passed her ICC coach tutor course. So she's now coming back, and she'll now be training the coaches and the Estonians in Estonian. So she'll be working with the other immigrants like myself in English, and she'll be doing courses in Estonian as well. So we're in a very healthy situation in the knowledge base of being able to do that. And we have Richard Cox who's here, who is our high performance director. He works part-time. He's based in Birmingham, and he comes over 8 times a year, and he runs coach training sessions with anyone who's looking to get their badge, and then after they've got it, it's to continue upskilling them, just continue to improve it, so they can keep providing better training to the players and to the kids that we're introducing cricket to.
Yeah, Terry, it's just incredible what you've done. This is Estonian cricket for Estonia, with the Estonian culture at heart, with the venues and the infrastructure and the right platforms you're putting in place. It's really, really special. And I think you're a special spokesperson for European cricket, and Estonia is very, very lucky to have you. Estonia has its fantastic people up there, but it's an honour to spend time with you. It's fantastic to see the growth there, and it's really going places. You can see that. So well done, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Dan. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Cheers.